What's up guys, it's Kelly and today I have a swatch and review for you, but today is super exciting because this is actually my first spring swatch and review. Kind of crazy. Of the year, obviously not of all time. So I got the new Deborah Lippmann spring line and I want to show you guys. I also have this Deborah Lippmann mini set, which I am also going to show you. I don't know if you guys are actually into the mini sets, but I did it in my last Deborah Lippmann review and I don't know. I figured it would be alright. But anyway, let's start off with the regular collection. There's 5 shades, 2 of them are sheer. So let's swatch those first. So as always, under my swatches, I am going to use my Cuccio base coat, but I'm not going to use top coat because I am just taking these off immediately after. Okay, so the first color we have is Love at First Sight, and this is a sheer pink color, pretty much like one of those French manicure colors, or if you just want a really light wash of color on your nail. In one coat, it is perfectly self-leveled, and it's so beautiful. This is probably actually the nicest sheer polish that I have used, and I feel like this is the perfect French manicure color. So with a second coat, it gets a little bit more opacity, and I think this would just be beautiful on its own, but kind of made me want to do a French manicure. So if you guys want to see that, I can do it. Next up we have I'm My Own Hero, and this is sort of a cool toned, neutral, nude beige kind of shade here. It was actually fully opaque in the first coat I found, and it's self-leveled so beautifully. Oh my gosh, I love the brushes and the formula of Deborah Lippmann, and this one was no exception. I did end up throwing on a second coat just because I didn't get enough close to my cuticle, but I really did think it was fully opaque in that first coat, and I think this is a nice transition color because like I said, it's a little bit dark, it's a little bit cool toned, so I feel like it sort of has a little bit of a wintry vibe to it. Next up we have Out of Space, and this one is actually a Sephora exclusive, so it's only available in the Sephora stores or online, so I'll link that separately below, but basically it's just a really nice sort of cool toned pinky purpley metallic shade. I think this is another one of those that's perfect for stamping. Watch out, it's a tiny bit streaky, but it dries with a little bit less of that streakiness, so love it. Okay, next up is my favorite. This one's called I Put a Spell on You. So this is actually a sheer color again, but it's this crazy duochrome. So every time you look at it, like any different angle, it looks crazy different. So you can see head on, it looks green. When you're sort of angled away from it, it looks pink. Actually, from where I was sitting, which I'm technically where I'm sitting would be above the camera, it looked purple to me. So it's crazy. And then once you throw on that second coat, you can sort of see that color coming together a little bit more. Like I said, it is a sheer polish, so you're still going to see a visible nail line, but I have never owned any polish like this before. I feel like it's totally crazy and I'm kind of obsessed with it, so I don't know, what do you guys think of it? Alright, and then last up in this collection we have Lost in a Dream, and this is like a really light sage green cream. This one actually looked a little bit greener in the bottle, but on the nail it looked kind of like a white, but not as stark as a white. It is fully opaque in the first coat. It just was a little messy, so I wanted to clean that up there, but I feel like this is a really nice base for nail art specifically. I feel like this would be perfect if you have nail art but you think a white base would be like too harsh, too strong, then this would be like a nice subtle wash of color. Alright, so now that you guys have seen those main polishes, we can talk about this mini set. So this is called Touch Me in the Morning. There are 6 different polishes. They're all super creamy creams, and it says they are $36 for the set of them. So let's get started with this. I will warn you guys, when I'm going from regular nail polishes to mini nail polishes, the first one that I do I always struggle with like a lot. So you're gonna notice that I struggle a tiny bit just with the first one, but after that it's all good. I also find that the minis don't self-level as well, so I don't use top coat in my swatches, but obviously you guys want to use top coat anyway because you want your nail polish to last, so would definitely recommend using it for these minis. But anyway, let's just show you guys what they look like. So once again, just gonna throw on my base coat, and I always wear a base coat underneath my swatches because it protects the nail from staining. So the first polish we have is You Make My Dreams, and this is a light pink cream. So when I saw this in the bottle, I thought it looked kind of sheer, and I was totally right because in the first coat it was completely sheer, absolutely. Second coat, still way too sheer. This isn't even me struggling with the formula, this is just the polish was too sheer. They actually reformulated, or not reformulated, but they redid the bottles so that the brushes would actually be nice and wide, so it was a lot easier to paint with these than their normal mini brushes, but still, this was a 3-coater. I feel like that's just not necessary, you know what I mean? I don't know. Not a great formula on this one. Next up we have Truly Madly Deeply, and again this one looked kind of like it was going to be sheer. This is sort of like a mauve, dustier kind of pink color. Again, first coat, absolutely not fully opaque, and then the second coat I did get full opacity. I probably should have done a third, but I think I got away with 2. Still not too impressed with the formula on this one though. I will say, Deborah Lippmann is one of the best formulas that I have used pretty much ever, but when I say that, I'm talking about the regular size bottles. I feel like the mini bottles are just a different ball game entirely. Alright, next up we have Serendipity, and this is sort of like a really light grade lavender color, and this one was a one coater. I feel like the formulas in this box were all over the place. Like some of these were one coaters, some of these were three coaters. I don't know. They really didn't do too much consistency here, but I think this color is really beautiful. A fan of this one for sure. Next up we have Come Back to Bed, and this is like a dusty periwinkle cream. This one again had that thicker formula, but it was a 2-coater for full opacity. Honestly, if you guys want a set of polishes that are all really consistent, I would not go for this. I think the colors are really nice, but just in terms of quality and consistency, I don't know that this set really did it for me. So this one, like I said, opaque in 2 coats, but at this point I was kind of like, I don't know how I feel about this set of minis anymore. You know what I mean? And then we have My Blue Heaven, and this is like a really light baby blue color. This was one of the one coaters, so it applied really nicely, and it was a nice thick cream. It was pretty much self-leveling. This one was actually the best formula of the bunch, so I was really impressed with this color, and I think it's really beautiful. And then last but not least, we have FALLIN, and this is sort of like a dusty light green. It's similar to the last polish in their spring collection, but this one was a little bit darker and a little bit more grade, and again, one coater. Alright, so that's it for these swatches. I know Deborah Lippmann is on the higher end of the scale in terms of pricing, so I always have some cheaper swatches for you guys too. If there's any brands that you recommend that you want to see me try out, definitely let me know in the comments below. I will put links for where you can buy the Deborah Lippmann stuff. I think they sell it in Sephora, they sell it in Nordstrom. I don't know, I'll put them in the description. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up if you want to see more spring swatches, and subscribe to my channel. I feel like I always forget to say that. You know, people are saying in the beginning now. I don't know if I should start doing that. It's kind of annoying though. I don't know. Alright, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye! Okay, I actually have a great fun fact today because one of you guys told me that your family is learning American Sign Language and that this actually means gross. Which is hilarious. I haven't looked it up to confirm, but I trust you. So that's super funny. Apparently every time I sign off, I'm like, gross! So, interesting fun fact today. Alright, talk to you guys later.